All right, and we are live. Good evening po sa inyong lahat mga kaguro. And of course, welcome back to Gurong Pinoy. This is day 2 of our final coaching. Dear Lord, I come to you to ask for your guidance and direction in this study session. I ask that the Holy Spirit fill me with strength, creativity, and understanding to get through my studies without difficulty or sin. Help me hold my focus and attention. Help me to retain all that I learned. Please make my mind sharp and keep distractions at bay. If any part of my studying is weak or lacking in some way, let it be revealed so that I may correct it. Thank you for this opportunity to learn. Amen. All right, now once again, this is final coaching day 2 for our Let September takers. Please do like, love, share our video, start a watch party, tag your friends so that we can start in a few minutes. Maraming salamat po to all our sharers, lahat ng nagtag na kanilang friends, so yung ating mga top fans. Maraming salamat Ma'am Gemma Rose Villesa. Okay, maraming salamat for being one of our top fans. Ma'am Gemma Rose Villesa Tesorero. Maraming salamat po. To all our star senders, thank you so much. Okay, we start with question number 1. Again, please do like, love, share our video. We start with number 1. This is Gen Ed for final coaching day 2. Question number 1, your favorite. Okay, Carlo had an average of 70% in his first 2 tests and an average of 80% in his next 3 tests. The average for his 5 tests is blank. Letter A, 80, letter B, 76, letter C, 75, or letter D, 78. What's your choice for question number 1? Pambungad, no, nakakagana, math ka agad. Okay, yung inyong paborito. Okay, Ma'am Cheryl Ann Martinez Antonio, maraming salamat po. Sir John Mark and Cabo, maraming salamat. Ma'am Alibay Chichay Pangawilan, maraming salamat po for sending us stars. Ganon din kay Sir Jimmy Ordonio, maraming salamat po. Good evening, joining from Rayong, Thailand, Ma'am Amethyst Antonio Ganner, Sawadika. Maraming salamat for tuning in. Of course, please do stay safe, no? Stay safe po mga kaguro. Medyo pumasok na yata, napapasok na yata si Typhoon Henry. Ramdam na natin, no? Masyadong humid. At may ulan na at may hangin na. So please do stay safe at sana wala pong aberya sa inyong signals ngayon gabi. Okay, letter B. I see a lot of letter B sa ating comment box. Kahit sa Team YouTube, letter B din, nakikita natin. Thank you kay Ma'am Joanna Sible. Maraming salamat po for sending us a super sticker dito sa ating YouTube channel. Okay, letter B, karamihang choice. Let's try to find out if your answer is correct. Again, you all know that when you are trying to solve for the average, you get the sum of all the numbers, then you divide that by the number of items that you have. No? So sum over n. In this case right here, you are given the average. Okay, so naibigay sa atin yung average. And so what we do is we try to find the sum. Then of course, we divide that by the n units. Okay, so the sum here would be equal to average times the n units, okay, the number of items or the number of tests that Carlo has. Okay, so for the first summary, or not the first summary, the first sum, we have sum 1 equals the average of 70% times 2. Bakit times 2? Because this is for the 2 tests. Okay, and so the sum here would be 140. Okay, that's 140. Now for the second sum, you have 80, that's average of 80%, times the 3 tests. Okay, and this would give you 240. Now we are going to add up sum 1 and sum 2. That's to get your final average. You have 140 plus 240, and we divide this by 5. Saan po natin kinuha yung 5? Because we now have a total of 5 tests. Okay, so 5 tests na po. You have 2 tests sa summary, sa sum 1, and you have 3 tests sa sum 2, no? So not summary again. Okay, so that's 140 plus 240 divided by 5. And so that would give us 380 divided by 5. Your final average is 76. That would be choice B. So tumpak, Ang choice B, congratulations, magdiwang yung mga nakakuha ng tumpak na choice. Sa mga ligwak naman, alam nyo na, move on ka agad, parang pag-ibig lang, no? Wag nang ngumoy-ngoy, wag nang maglupasay, move on ka agad. Marami pa pong pagkakataon. Okay, we go to number 2. So again, for number 1, that's letter B. Number 2, ipapasa ng mga mag-aaral ang mga sagot sa takdang aralin sa darating na linggo ay nasa panahonang patlang. Letter A, pangnagdaan. Letter B, perpektibo. Letter C, panghinaharap. Or letter D, pangkasalukuyan. What's your choice for number 2? This is Filipino. Karamihang items nyo no, sa LET, Gen Ed, yung iba sa inyo nahihirapan sa Gen Ed, yung iba naman ay hirap sa Prof Ed. Okay? Pero yung Gen Ed kasi sobrang mahirap din yung Gen Ed kasi you don't know where the questions are gonna come from, no? So iba-iba kasi yung panggagalingan ng questions kapag ka ito ay Gen Ed. Kapag ka Prof Ed naman, once you already have the skill of analyzing the questions, mas nagiging madali na yung Prof Ed, no? So iba sa inyo, minsan nagko-comment na mas madali na yung Prof Ed kaysa sa Gen Ed. Yung Gen Ed kasi samut-sari talaga yung questions. Okay, so for this question here, this is Filipino, isa din sa mga challenging na parts ng Gen Ed test ninyo. Okay, maliban sa math, no, challenging din yung Filipino, mahirap din yung Filipino. Hindi lang nakaka-nosebleed, hindi lamang English, pati Filipino nakaka-nosebleed. Okay, so dito I can see a lot of letter C's. Tumpak kaya ang letter C? Okay, so ang ating pangungusap ay ganito, ipapasa ng mga mag-aaral, that means future, di ba? Ipapasa ng mga mag-aaral sa darating na linggo. Now, you have the choices pang nagdaan at perpektibo. Pagkaparehas lamang po yan na magkaparehas yung pang nagdaan, tapos na, at perpektibo, tapos na rin. Pang hinaharap would be future, pangkasalukuyan would be the present tense. And of course, the correct choice would be letter C, pang hinaharap, ipapasa. Mangyayari pa sa susunod or sa darating na linggo. So letter C for number 2. We go to number 3. In Rizal's poem, which extols love of the national language, people who don't love their native language are compared to blank. Letter A, lupain ng ginto at bulaklak. Letter B, bayaning lalong tumatapang. Letter C, ibon mang may layang lumipad. Or letter D, hayop at malansang isda. Okay, what is your choice for number 3? And of course, si Lolo Jose Rizal ay medyo paborito din, naging paborito na din in the previous years, naging paborito na din ng Let's si Lolo Jose Rizal. And so sa ating classified files, no, sa ating last week of coaching, babalikan po natin all about Dr. Jose Rizal. Okay, so antabayanan niyo po yan. And of course, magpa-member po kayo para po kayo ay maka-join sa aming discussion. Okay, what's your choice for number 3? I see D's. Letter D kaya ang tumpak na choice for number 3. Ma'am Jusel, Faunilian, Manggao. Yes, pwede pa po kayong humabol. Magpa-member po kayo sa Team Pishay. Okay, letter D for number 3. And of course, letter D ang ating tumpak na choice dito. Okay, so letter D, Ma'am Aisa Rasul. First time watching from Lanao. Assalamualaikum. And of course, welcome po. Number 3 is letter D. Tumpak po ang letter D. This actually came from the second stanza, pangalawang saknong ng Sa Aking Mga Kabata. Ang sabi ng ating poem, ng ating tula, ang hindi magmahal sa kanyang salita, mahigit sa hayop at malansang isda. Kaya ang marapat pagyamaning kusa na tulad sa inang tunay na nagpala. Okay, so that's part of the second stanza of your Sa Aking Mga Kabata. Now, sinasabing isinulat ito ni Dr. Jose Rizal nang siya ay 8 taong gulang pa lamang. Although there are some doubters, marami ng doubts as to whether it is true that he has written this when he was just 8 years old. Ipinakikilala sa tulang ito ang pagpapahalaga sa sariling wika. Okay, so letter D for number 3. Tumpak po ang ating choice D. Okay, basahin ko lamang. Maraming salamat, Sir Ellie Junior Bolon, for sending a super sticker sa ating YouTube channel. Maraming salamat po. We go to question number 4. Ayan, math na naman, yung inyong favorite. Mr. Buena ordered a merchandise listed at 15,000 pesos. The invoice showed the net price of 12,750 pesos. Find the discount rate. Letter A, 18%. Letter B, 20%. Letter C, 15%. Or letter D, 22%. What is our choice for question number 4? Merong kaguro dito yung comment niya, sana all may hinaharap. Okay, parang Indian ba yung inyong pangalan, ma'am? Na parang Indian na characters, hindi ko mabasa. Okay, what's your choice? Sabi ni Sir JJ Aringo, pag mali ang D, kanina to, no, sa question number 3, pag mali ang D, babalikan ko si X. Kaway-kaway, mga major in Filipino dyan, mahal natin sarili nating wika, sabi ni Ma'am Nitsa or Nisa Alauya. Mga Filipino major. Okay, I see a lot of letters C's, 15%. Okay, so sabi ng question natin, nag-order si Mr. Buena ng isang merchandise. It was listed at 15,000 pesos. Ngayon, yung invoice niya, yung resibo niya, showed the net price of 12,750. And so now, we are going to find the discount rate. Magkano yung na-discount ni Mr. Buena, no? So, for us to find that out, unang-una, of course, we have to subtract 12,750 yung kanyang binayaran sa principal amount, the original amount of 15,000 pesos. Okay? And the difference is 2,250. Now, kukunin natin yung rate of 15,000 to 2,250. No? So, what percent of 15,000 is 2,250. Now, as I have mentioned, yung term po na of in math, this means times. And ang term, of course, na is equals. Okay, so you can write this as blank percent times 15,000, that's coming from the word of, that's equals 2,250. And so for us to get the value of your rate here, we need to divide 2,250 by 15,000. So 2,250 divided by 15,000, your answer will be 0.15 in decimal form, or in percentage form, that will be 15%. Letter C is tumpak. Okay, so letter C, ang tumpak na choice for question number 4. We go to number 5. Okay, Romeo and Juliet is to Shakespeare as Iliad and Odyssey are to blank. Letter A, Homer. Letter B, Agamemnon. Letter C, Marlowe. Or letter D, Achilles. Okay, what's your choice for number 5? Hello po sa lahat ng ating mga first-timers, mga newcomers, kaway-kaway, hello po. Sa mga new followers natin, hello, welcome to Gurong Pinoy. And of course, since this is the first time that you're watching us, we have so many videos dyan po sa ating YouTube channel. Ganun din naman po sa ating Facebook page. That's Gurong Pinoy, no? Name both Gurong Pinoy. And if you want to watch the full-length videos at download yung ating PDF files, you can become a member of Team Piaget if you will be taking the LEP this September, or Team Brunner naman for March, no, sa ating new TOS. If you'd want to become a member, mag-send lamang po ng message sa ating Facebook page. Okay, where you are watching now. Pwede po kayo mag-send ng message now. Okay, babalikan po ni admin lahat ng inyong messages. Okay, so mag-send na po ng message para of course ay maka-join po kayo sa ating final coaching, full-length video, and ganun din po sa ating classified files. Okay, number 5, Romeo and Juliet is to Shakespeare. Okay, Shakespeare was the author of Romeo and Juliet. Therefore, we are looking for the author of Iliad and Odyssey, and the correct choice is letter A. Now, so Homer was the one who wrote Iliad and Odyssey. Now, what about the rest of your choices? Okay, but before that, Homer again is the legendary author to whom the authorship of the Iliad and the Odyssey is attributed. He is regarded as one of the greatest and most influential authors of all time. Now, Agamemnon is only the first play of the great tragic trilogy, the Oresteia. Ito naman ay sinulat ni Aeschylus. Okay, this was written by Aeschylus around 458 BCE. It is his sole trilogy to survive intact. The two other plays, Kyophori, and Eumenides. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly sa ating mga English majors, no? And the last satire play called Proteus won its author first prize at the Great Tunisia that same year. Okay, so that's Agamemnon by Aeschylus. Now you also have Christopher Marlowe. This is choice C, also known as Kit Marlowe. He was an English playwright, poet, and translator of the Elizabethan era, and his most famous play was The Tragical History of Dr. Faustus. Okay, baka lumabas ito sa let, no? The Tragical History of Dr. Faustus was written by Kit Marlowe or Christopher Marlowe. And in Greek mythology, Achilles or Achilles was a hero of the Trojan War, the greatest of all the Greek warriors and the central character of Homer's Iliad. Si Achilles naman po, yung ating choice D, was just one of the characters sa Iliad, which was of course written by Homer. The idiom, lumalabas din ito sa inyong Gen Ed, an Achilles heel is a person's only vulnerable spot, a serious or fatal weakness. Okay, so siya yung inyong kahinaan. No? So kung ikaw ay patay na patay sa iyong jowa, pwede mong sabihin na ikaw ang aking Achilles heel, ikaw yung aking kahinaan. No? That's the person's only vulnerable spot. Okay, so that's Achilles heel, an idiom that also would come out in your Gen Ed. But we were looking, of course, for Homer for question number 4. Okay, so again, for that question, number 5, Homer is the correct choice. We move on with question number 6. The union of an ovum and a sperm inside a test tube is called blank fertilization. Letter A, in vivo. Letter B, asexual. Letter C, in vitro. Or letter D, sexual. What's your choice from or for number 6? Ma'am Justin Rochelle. Ito na makita yung pangalan ni Ma'am. Ma'am Justin, balikan ko yung pangalan ni Ma'am. Ma'am Justin Rochelle Bye-Bye Kasimina. Maraming salamat po for sending us stars. Okay, Waterloo. Po pwede din sa maggamit, no? Instead of Achilles heel, tama po yan, Ma'am Lorelie Pulmano. Po pwede ding Waterloo yung inyong maging term. Kahinaan. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Akisha Faith Desina. Nag-send daw siya ng sticker. No? Maraming salamat po. Mamaya po babalikan ko, ma'am. Hindi ko po makita lahat ng comments ninyo dahil marami pong nagko-comment. Okay, I see letter C's for question number 6. This, of course, is science. Okay, number 6, the union of an ovum and a sperm inside a test tube is called blank fertilization. Now, your ovum is another term for your egg cell. We all know, no, egg cell sa ating mga babae at sperm cells naman sa ating mga lalaki. Okay, so ovum and sperm cell, when they are united, when there's union between them inside a test tube, what would be the term used? Okay, so what type of fertilization would that be? Is it letter A, in vivo, letter B, asexual, letter C, in vitro, or letter D, sexual? Okay, now the correct choice, of course, is letter C, in vitro fertilization. Okay, so letter C po ang tumpak na choice dito. When you say in vitro, that is a procedure that is done in a petri dish or in a test tube. Okay, so test tube, ginagamit siya sa test tube or ginagawa siya sa test tube or sa petri dish. That's in vitro fertilization. In vivo naman, vivo means living, no? So this action or this process is done to living organisms. Examples would be your plants, your rats, or your mice, and of course humans. No? So in living organisms or in organisms, you use in vivo fertilization. Okay, you may do it. Pwede siyang natural. Kunwari sa mag-asawa, no, when the sperm cell and the egg cell of the married couple would undergo fertilization, you can call that in vivo. Okay? Or po pwede din naman siyang sa lab. For example, mice mo, no? Yung mga lab animals mo, yung subjects mo sa lab, po pwede din silang gamitin kahit sa plants mo in the labs, po pwede din. Okay? So, in vitro, yung ating tumpak na choice. Now, yung asexual mo, when you say asexual reproduction, asexual po yung ibig sabihin nito without the sex cells. Okay, so this is a type of reproduction without the presence of your sex cells, without the involvement of your sex cells. Kunwari dito yung mga examples natin sa ating mga plantito-plantita, yung mga stem cuttings natin, no? Yung mga stolons, runners um, ng inyong mga grasses, no? So these are forms of asexual reproduction. Binary fission sa inyong bacteria, lumalabas po yan sa let. Yung budding sa hydra, no? So that's asexual reproduction. And meron pang isang very common question sa let, parthenogenesis, yung isang egg cell ay nag-fertilize siya ng kanyang self. Walang kailangan na sperm cell, no? So that's also an asexual form of reproduction. Sexual naman, of course, this is the union of your sperm cell and your egg cell. So the type of fertilization that happens in humans, that's an example of sexual reproduction. Okay, but here, number 6, we are looking for letter C. Okay, Vivo, akala niyo cellphone. Sabi ni Sir Rio Hatulan, akala niya cellphone. All right, we go to number 7. Potential energy is to battery, as a moving electric fan is to blank energy. What type of energy is exhibited by a moving electric fan? Letter A, nuclear. Letter B, mechanical. Letter C, chemical. Or letter D, kinetic. What's your choice for number 7? Oh, meron pang naghahanap dito kay Let Review. Okay, sabi ni Ma'am, clear akabal. Di ko ma-search si Let Review para ma-report. Okay, so meron tayong mga profiles kanina na ni-report yung mga nagbebenta ng ating materials. Okay, I see a lot of letter B's. May iilang letter D. Si Ma'am Alcover ay nag-change. D pala, sabi ni Ma'am Alcover. Pero karamihang choice niyo ay letter B. May iilang letter C. Alin kaya ang tumpak? Okay, this of course is science. Okay, this is an item in science. Again, if you can, please become a member of Team Cachet para maalagaan po kayo mabuti. And of course, you can send us stars, you can send us super chat, super stickers naman if you want to show your support to Gurong Pinoy. Maraming salamat po. Ayan, sabi ni Sir Joe Ranger, no, yung naghahanap ng mga pangalan ng aso ni Rizal at ng kabayo ni Rizal. Okay, what's your choice for number 7? I see letter B's. Let's take a look at our question again. Potential energy is to battery, as a moving electric fan is a blank type of energy. And now you actually have two major types of energy. Now, potential energy, this is the energy of position or stored energy. So usually yung ating explanation dito, yung potential energy mo, this is the energy possessed by unmoving objects, no? So potential energy, energy of position, or stored energy. Kaya sa battery mo, stored energy siya, that's potential energy. Now, on the other hand, kinetic energy mo naman is the energy of motion. This can be found in moving objects. Okay, so moving objects. And so here, pwede mong isipin na kinetic energy yung inyong choice, no? Pero moving electric fan kasi, it is a machine and we have to be specific. The correct choice here would be mechanical energy, which is also an example of your kinetic energy. So mechanical energy ang ating tumpak na choice. For number 7, it's letter B, not D. The letter D is just kinetic energy, energy of motion. But we are talking about a fan, a machine. It's mechanical energy, which is also an example of your kinetic energy. Okay, your nuclear energy here is another example. Nuclear and chemical energy are examples of your potential energy. Okay, so letter B ang ating tumpak na choice for number 7. We go to number 8. Subalit, Filipino, no, ay pangatnig na ginagamit sa patlang. Letter A, pagtatanong. Letter B, lubos na pagsang-ayon. Letter C, paglilinaw. Or letter D, hindi pagsang-ayon. What's your choice for number 8? Okay, what's your choice? Ayan. Sabi ni Ma'am Irene on Lagada, Vallespin, may balance pa po ako sa nagbenta ng files kagabi. Sana po ni-report ninyo para po kayo ay may biyaya galing sa Gurong Pinoy. Ma'am Joanne Garcia, loading na ba? Pwede naman pong balikan later. Sir JJ Aringo, maraming salamat po Ma'am Mek. LPT na po ako dahil dito sa Gurong Pinoy. Practice ulit. Congratulations. Maraming salamat Sir CB John Paul Arellano III. I-refer ko po talaga itong Gurong Pinoy sa Education Department namin sa school. Sige po, ilista mo po yung mga magiging kaguro natin doon. Okay, letter C for number 8. Subalit. Subalit. Mahal ko siya. Subalit, ayaw niya sa akin. Okay? So, pagtatanong ba ito, lubos na pagsang-ayon, paglilinaw, or hindi pagsang-ayon? Ang tumpak na choice dito would be letter D, hindi po pagsang-ayon, subalit, no? Subalit, datapwat. Okay, subalit. Hindi po siya pagsang-ayon, hindi po paglilinaw. Paglilinaw, you are giving more details, no? Pero yung subalit, hindi po siya nagsasang-ayon, okay? So, po pwede mong sabihin na gustong-gusto ko siya, subalit ayaw niya sa akin, okay? Subalit ayaw niya sa akin, hindi paglilinaw ang ating tumpak na choice. Letter D for number 8. Medyo maraming naligwak no, sa number 8 natin. Hindi po paglilinaw, but hindi pagsang-ayon yung ating tumpak na choice. We go to number 9. Face-to-face communication is made via the computer through blank. Letter A, Skype. Letter B, email. Letter C, Google. Or letter D, Twitter. What's your choice for number 9? Number 9, ano po ang ating tumpak na choice? Okay, what's your choice for question number 9? Again, huwag pong kalimutang i-like at i-share yung ating video. No? However, tama po yan, Sir Seth de la Fuente. No? Subalit is however in English. Okay, so hindi pagsang-ayon. All right, what's your choice for number 9? Number 9, I see a lot of letter A's. Okay, letter A for number 9. Face-to-face communication. No? So you can see each other's faces. Although, if we are strictly speaking, hindi siya face-to-face talaga, no, na nakikita mo talaga siya in person. But you can see each other's faces via the computer through letter A, Skype, letter B, email, letter C, Google, or letter D, Twitter. The correct choice, of course, is letter A, Skype. No? So, Skype dati, no? Ngayon, medyo Google Meet na nawala na yung Skype. Medyo hindi na maraming gumagamit ng Skype yung nag-pandemic. Naging mas uso yung Zoom, yung Google Meet, yung Microsoft Teams, no? Pero ito kasi Google lang siya. So, this is just a search engine, no? Hindi siya Google Meet. Okay? Zoom na ngayon yung uso at Google Meet, no? Microsoft Teams. Okay? But letter A for number 9. We go to number 10. The Philippines was discovered in 1521 by the Portuguese explorer blank. Letter A, Serviliano Aquino. Letter B, Ferdinand Magellan. Letter C, Christopher Columbus. Or letter D, Fidel Castro. Okay, what's your choice for number 10? Again, kung hindi ka pa po member ng Team Piaget po, pwede pa rin po kayong humabol. Mag-send po kayo ng message sa ating Facebook page kung saan po kayo nanonood ngayon. No? Mag-send po kayo ng message sa ating Facebook page para po maging member kayo ng Team Piaget, para po mabalikan nyo lahat ng full-length videos natin, lahat ng files natin. Mas maliwanag po yung mga concepts sa inyo. No? So magpa-member po kayo sa Team Piaget, send a message through our Facebook page kung saan po kayo nanonood today. Kung member na po kayo sa ating Team Piaget, doon po kayo dapat nanonood sa inyong team para po dire-diretso yung inyong panonood. Ganun din po sa mga members ng ating classified files and final coaching. Doon po kayo manood sa inyong Facebook group. Now, ganun din po sa mga nanonood sa atin sa YouTube, no? Doon po kayo, mag-send po kayo ng message sa ating Facebook page para po maging member kayo ng Team Peshay para po kayo ay makanood dire-diretso ng ating videos. Okay, number 10, of course, we all know this, no? Sabi ni Yoyoy, March 16, 1521, when Magellan discovered Limasawa Island. Okay, so letter B, Ferdinand Magellan, ang tumpak na choice for question number 10. Now, what about the rest of your choices here? Si Sir Viliano Mianong Aquino was a Filipino general during the Philippine Revolution against Spain and the Philippine-American War. He served as a delegate to the Malolos Congress and was actually the grandfather of Ninoy Aquino. No, so grandfather siya ni Ninoy Aquino. Christopher Columbus was an Italian explorer and navigator who completed 4 Spanish-based voyages across the Atlantic Ocean sponsored by the Catholic monarchs of Spain, opening the way for the widespread European exploration and colonization of the Americas. Ito naman yung tinatawag na discoverer ng Amerika, si Christopher Columbus. Although some people in the US, they don't want to celebrate Columbus Day because, of course, Christopher Columbus and his men also oppressed the Native Americans during that time. Ganon din naman sa atin yung nangyayari. Na-oppress din yung mga Filipinos before sa kamay ng mga Espanyol. No? Although Ferdinand Magellan was Portuguese and Christopher Columbus was Italian, they were serving Spain during that time. Okay? And Fidel Castro, on the other hand, was a political leader of Cuba who transformed his country into the first communist state in the Western Hemisphere. Naging first communist yung Cuba because of Fidel Castro. Castro became a symbol of communist revolution in Latin America. Okay, but the correct choice, of course, is letter B, Ferdinand Magellan for number 10. We move on with question number 11. The least common multiple of 527 is blank. Letter A, 140. Letter B, 35. Letter C, 15. Or letter D, 70. What's your choice for this math item? No, least common multiple. Now, remember yung atin pong hint, no? Huwag pong unahin yung choice A. Hanapin po muna yung least number. Okay? Yung pinakamababang number muna yung inyong unahin kapag kayo'y naghahanap ng ating LCM. Okay, para po tumpak ang inyong maging choice. Okay, what's your choice? Number 11. What is our choice for question 11? The least common multiple of 527 is, okay, ICD 70. Okay, so again, uunahin natin yung least na number at dapat pag dinivide mo siya by the numbers that we have here, walang remainder. No? So 15 divided by 5 is 3, po pwede. But 15 divided by 2, hindi po pwede. That's 7 with a remainder of 1. No? Now we go to the next least number. 35 divided by 5 is 7. But 35 divided by 2, hindi po pwede. No? So ligwak. We move on with 70. 70 divided by 5, pwede. And 70 divided by 2, pwede. 70 divided by 7, of course, pwede din. And so letter D, ang tumpak na choice for number 11. We go to number 12. Paraan ng pagbuo ng salita na ginagawa ng tatlong uri ng panlapi ay letter A, laguhan. Letter B, inunlapian. Letter C, hinulapian. Or letter D, kabilaan. Okay, what is our choice for 12? Okay, what is our choice for question number 12? Okay, number 12, I see a lot of letter A's. If you have a word in Filipino, meron kang salita, at nilagyan mo ng tatlong uri ng panlapi, of course, when we are talking about the 3 types of panlapi, meron kang unlapi, panlaping nasa unahan ng salita, meron kang gitlapi, nasa gitna ng salita, at meron kang hulapi, nasa hulihan ng salita. No? So, tatlong uri ng panlapi meron ka. And so, you call this laguhan. Letter A, ang ating tumpak na choice. Inunlapian, nasa unahan lamang, no? Unlapi lamang yung inyong ang inyong dinagdag. Hinulapian, hulapi lamang yung inyong dinagdag. Kabilaan naman, meron kang unlapi at hulapi. No? So meron kang pangunang panlapi at meron kang panghuling panlapi. No? So that's kabilaan. Kabilaan naman yung term. But here, letter A yung ating hinahanap. We go to number 13. When the source of energy is not depleted and may be used over and over again, it is described as blank. Letter A, reclaimable. Letter B, renewable. Letter C, reviewable. Or letter D, recyclable. What's your choice for 13? Kapit lang. Tama yan, Facebook user. No? Kapit lamang. Do not give up. Malapit na malapit na malapit na. Ayan na ang inyong let. September 25, ilang araw na lamang, 23 days to be exact. Okay, so dapat more or less ay ready na tayo. Marami na tayong bala, no? Kung feeling mo kulang pa, punta ka sa ating YouTube channel at panoorin mo lahat ng ating mga live streams doon, ng ating mga videos doon, okay? Pero doon naman sa mga videos natin, nag-start ng October 2021, dito po kayo manood sa Team Peshay kasi dito po yung kompleto, no? Pero yung mga older videos natin, nandun din po sa ating YouTube channel. Okay, 13 ICBs. When the source of energy is not depleted and may be used over and over again, your correct choice, of course, is letter B, renewable energy, no? Renewable energy. Now, remember, you have your renewable energy type, solar energy coming from the sun. You have hydropower energy that's coming from water. Geothermal coming from underneath the surface of the earth. Wind energy, no? Yung inyong mga windmills. And of course, biomass energy, this is coming from the different organisms on earth, no? Lahat ng organisms, no? Lahat ng plants especially, that's biomass. Then you have your non-renewable energy, your fossil fuel, your coal, your nuclear energy, and your natural gas. Okay, so these are non-renewable energy. Okay, do not be confused. No? Tandaan ito, natural gas is an example of non-renewable energy, hindi po renewable energy. Okay, so the correct choice, of course, is letter B, renewable. 14. Prokaryotes come in 4 basic morphologies: spherical, rod-shaped, spiral-shaped, and comma-shaped. The bacterial etiology of cholera, Vibrio cholera, is blank. Letter A, spiral. Letter B, comma-shaped. Letter C, spherical. Or letter D, rod-shaped. What's your choice? Okay, what is our choice for number 14? Number 14 na po tayo. 14, I see letter B's. Okay, this is also a very common question sa inyong Gen Ed. Lumalabas ito lagi sa inyong LET. Okay, so your prokaryotes, remember when you say prokaryotes, these are cells without the nucleus and without membrane-bound organelles. So bacteria, these are examples of your prokaryotes, and they have 4 different shapes, no? And you have spherical, rod-shaped, spiral, and comma-shaped. And Vibrio cholera is comma-shaped. Letter B, ang tumpak na choice. Okay, so here you have your spherical shape, that's termed coccus, yung streptococcus mo, no? You have your coccobacillus. Your coccobacillus, this is a combination of your spherical and rod-shaped. Rod-shaped kasi is bacillus. Vibrio, ito yung Vibrio cholera mo, no? Vibrio is comma-shaped, para siyang comma. Spirillum and spirochetes, these are all spiral, no? Spiral shape sila. So again, spherical, that's coccus. Rod-shaped is bacillus. Spiral shape, that can be your spirillum na malalaki. Maliliit would be your spirochete. And comma-shaped, you call this vibrio. Okay, so vibrio, letter P for number 14. We go to number 15. Ang alpabetong Pilipino ay tinatawag na letter A, pantikan, letter B, abakada, letter C, alibata, or letter D, balarila. Okay, what's your choice for 15? 14, ligwak ulit. No? Okay lang po yan, move on ka agad. Importante, tatama na sa actual let. In 23 days, tama na ang inyong choice. Ang sabi dito, ang alpabetong Pilipino ay tinatawag na alpabeto. Alpabeto po yung ating pinag-uusapan, alphabets natin. Okay, ito ay tinatawag na A, pantikan, letter B, abakada, letter C, alibata, or letter D, balarila. Ang tumpak na choice, of course, would be letter B, abakada. No? Abakada, ito yung tumulong sa atin para tayo ay mag-learn how to read. No? Yung baba, bebe, bibi, bobo, at bubu. Okay? So, abakada po yung ating hinahanap. Hindi po alibata. Alibata, ito yung lumang form ng ating alphabet. No? But we are already talking about alphabet in Filipino. And so abakada po yung ating hinahanap. At tama po yan, alibata is more on writing, no? Hindi po siya alpabetong Filipino. Ito yung abakada. Pantikan, of course, we know this to be your literature. Okay, so pantikan na siya. Balarila, this is already related to grammar. Okay, so abakada ang ating tumpak na choice, letter B. We go to 16. All these are beneficial effects of scientific knowledge except blank. Letter A, solution to practical problems. Letter B, making informed decisions. Letter C, development of new technology. Or letter D, pursuance of political agenda. Okay, what's your choice? All these are beneficial, good effect, except. Yung iba sa inyo, hindi na naman nakita yung except. Malamang hindi na naman nakita yung except. Okay, yan tayo no, may mga sakit tayo sa mata. Kahit ikaw ay niloloko na, hindi mo pa rin nakikita. Okay? Kahit may except, may word na not, hindi mo pa rin nakikita. Okay, what is our choice for question number 16? 16, ICDs. Okay, so all these are good effects of scientific knowledge, except we are looking for the bad effect, no? And so the correct choice would be pursuance of political agenda. Hindi po dapat ito ginagawa, no? Hindi para sa inyong political agenda yung scientific knowledge. Okay, so this one is correct. Solution to practical problems, making informed decisions, good decisions, and development of new technology. Letter D, ang tumpak na choice. We go to number 17. Humans have mixed attitude towards robots. On one hand, we appreciate that robots can substitute in doing dangerous or repetitive tasks and heavy farm work. And yet surveys show that the growing robotization of our society makes us feel uncomfortable and threatened because of the fear that robots blank. Letter A will destroy offices and factories. Letter B will spread communicable diseases. Letter C will turn into criminals. Or letter D will replace humans in the workplace. Okay, what is our choice for 17? Number 17, what is our choice? Seventeen. Okay, I see letter D's for number 17. And of course, letter D would be the correct choice. So sabi dito, we are appreciative of the robots because they can substitute. So po pwedeng sila yung gumawa ng ating mga dangerous and repetitive tasks and heavy farm work. Pero, we feel uncomfortable and we are threatened. Ikaw ay threatened because of the fear that robots would replace humans in the workplace. So, ayaw natin na mawala ng trabaho dahil sa robots. No? So dati, manual lang lahat sa mga paggawaan ng cars. For example, manual pa yung paggawa. Ngayon ay automatic na, no? Automated na lahat. Robots na yung gumagawa. So letter D, ang tumpak na choice. Number 18. Violinists who brought classical violin music to the masses is letter A, Chan, letter B, Caballo, letter C, Molina, or letter D, Katindig. Okay, who is our choice for number 18? Number 18, letter B. I see letter B sa ating comment box. Okay, may ilang letter C. Violinist. Okay, so violinist who brought classical violin music to the masses is letter B, Caballo po yung ating hinahanap. Okay, so this is Lopez Caballo, a renowned Filipino violinist devoted to bringing fine music to ordinary people. Okay, so letter B, Caballo po. What about the rest of your choices? Siguro naman kilala nyo si Jose Marichan, no? So lahat tayo ay familiar, especially ngayon, September 2 na. Jose Joe Marilim Chan is a Filipino singer, TV host, songwriter, and businessman in the sugar industry. He is currently the chairman and CEO of Pinalbagan Isabela Sugar Company Incorporated and A Chan Sugar Corporation. So hindi lamang po singer si Lolo Jose Marichan, siya din ay isang negosyante. No? So chairman siya, CEO siya. This one is sugar company sa Negros. Okay, so mga Bisaya dyan. Okay, Molina naman, si Molina, Antonio J. Molina was a national artist of the Philippines, a musical great. He was considered the peer of two other great Filipino musicians, Nicanor Abelardo and Francisco Santiago, and was the first violin cellist of pre-war times, a composer, conductor, pedagogue, and music administrator. That's Antonio Molina. Ito po yung tandaan nyo kay Molina, no? The first violin cellist of pre-war times. And Eddie Katindig naman, also known as Eddie K, was a popular jazz musician. But of course, ligwak na din si Eddie K. No? So wala na din siya. Okay, but we were looking for Kabayaw, na Chan, Molina, nor Katindig. We go to 19. Clear and organized presentations for lecture and or instruction is done by letter A, PowerPoint, letter B, compact disc, letter C, whiteboard, or letter D, acetate. What's your choice for number 19? Okay, number 19, ano po ang ating tumpak na choice? Ngayon, no, very famous na naman si Lolo Jose Marichan, King of Christmas songs. Sigurado ako narinig niyo na siya in the past 2 days, no? Narinig niyo na si Lolo Jose Marichan. Okay, for number 19, I see a lot of letter A's and of course, tumpak yung letter A, no? Just like what I'm using, this is PowerPoint. And so clear and organized presentations can be done using your PowerPoint. Not your CD. CD po itong compact disc. Wala ng CD ngayon, no? Halos wala na. Sa songs natin, Spotify na lang, YouTube minsan, nakikinig. Sa atin namang computers, ano na, yung flash drive na yung ating ginagamit, hindi na compact disc. Whiteboard, po pwede ka namang mag-lecture using your whiteboard, pero minsan depende din sa lecturer. Minsan hindi naging organized, no? Kapag walang organization ng lecturer nyo, palipat-lipat ng parte ng board, ay hindi po magiging organized yung instruction. Acetate, ito yung luma pang ginagamit, no? Yung ginagamitan pa siya ng overhead projector. That's your acetate. Yung parang paper siya na transparent. Okay, plastic transparent. Okay, so number 19, A is tumpak. We go to 20. The educated Filipinos who led the reform movement during the Spanish colonial regime were called blank. A, Ilustrados, letter B, Indios, letter C, Insulares, or letter D, Peninsulares. What's your choice for number 20? This is the last item for Gen Ed tonight. Okay, after this, we'll have Prof Ed. Number 20. What do you call those Filipinos, educated Filipinos? These were the Filipinos who were able to study abroad. An example for this would be Dr. Jose Rizal, sina Lopez Haina, okay, sina Del Pilar, okay, yung mga educated Filipinos natin. And the correct choice, of course, is Ilustrados. So, Ilustrados po yung ating hinahanap dito. Now, let's take a look at the rest of your terms. Yung termong principalya sa mga socksay majors natin dyan, when you say principalya, this is a kin of ancient datus, kamag-anak sila ng ancient datus mo, nobility, encomenderos, teachers, professionals, and local officials. That means yung mga prinsipalya mo, ito yung mga VIPs no, sa inyong lugar, sa kamag-anak ng dato, kamag-anak ng mga leader, kamag-anak ng mga guro, ng mga professionals. Remember, dati, hindi pa maraming professionals because very limited yung access nila to education. Yung mga Amerikano pa yung nag-bring ng public school system. Okay? Now, you have the term Indios. This, of course, was a term used by the Spanish for our native Filipinos. Then you have mestizos or Creoles. Yung Creoles mo naman, ito yung mga taong may mixed race of Chinese, Spanish, and Filipino. Kasi Creole sila, mestizos. Mestizo Chinese, sometimes yung tinatawag no mixed race na ng Spanish, Filipino, and Chinese. Ilustrados, ito yung ating sagot. These are Filipinos who have studied abroad, educated Filipinos. Of course nga, studied abroad sila dahil walang access pa into sa education lahat ng mga tao no hindi pa nakakapag-aral lahat. Then you have insulares, lumalabas ito sa let. What's the difference between insulares and peninsulares? Insulares, these are pure Spanish blood born in the Philippines. Yung hint mo dito, insulares, in the Philippines. Again, yung hint natin, in the Philippines, insulares. Okay? In the Philippines, insulares. Pure Spanish blood born sila, or pure Spanish blood sila, but they were born in the Philippines. Maaring yung mga parents kasi nila nandito. So that's your insulares. But when you say peninsulares, these are pure Spanish blood pero born in Spain. Okay? Doon sila sa Spain. All right? So the correct choice is letter A, ilustrados. We move on to our Prof Ed. So Prof Ed na tayo. Question number 21. Which of the following characteristics among learners can indicate that their parents have been authoritarian? Letter A, fearful, inhibited. Letter B, strong, outgoing. Letter C, open, friendly. Or letter D, responsive, active. Okay, what's your choice for number 21? Which can indicate that the parents have been authoritarian. Ano yung hint mo? Siguro authoritarian yung parents niya. Okay, what is our choice for number 21? All right, I see A's. Fearful, inhibited. Yung characteristic ng learner mo. And of course, letter A ang tumpak na choice dito. Remember, bad si Arian. Okay? Bad si Arian. If you are trying to compare your authoritarian and your other form, which of course is authoritative, yung mali po or yung bad po is authoritarian. Okay? So, bad si Arian. Now, these types of parenting style, remember, we have 4 different parenting styles. Yung parenting style na authoritative and authoritarian, ito yung parenting style na mataas yung demand. Okay, so mataas po yung demand mo. Okay, but yung pagkakaiba nila, cold yung authoritarian parent, puro lang rules, pero hindi na-explain, walang support sa bata, no? Gusto ko lang maging ganito ka, pero walang support. Okay, ang authoritative naman, high yung expectation and also high yung love and support. Okay, so here, authoritative mo, communicate high expectations of children with warmth, responsiveness, and consistent boundaries. Authoritarian naman, demanding pero cold and controlling with a focus on obedience and punishment. Now, the other 2 types of parenting style is your permissive and also your uninvolved. No, permissive and uninvolved. These 2 types naman, konti lang yung demand sa estudyante or konti lang yung demand sa child. No, the parent is not expecting a lot from the child. Hindi niya ina-expect na makagraduate, hindi niya ina-expect na maging honor student, hindi niya ina-expect na maging successful yung kanyang anak. Pero yung pagkakaiba dito, yung permissive mo, warm and loving. Okay? So warm and loving siya, pero wala siyang pakialam kung walang matutunan yung anak niya. Basta bigay lang siya ng bigay kung anong gusto ng anak niya. No? So this type of parents can actually produce spoiled brats, no? Yung spoiled brats na yung mga magiging anak. Uninvolved naman ay walang demand, walang expectation, at wala pang pakialam na wapakels itong parent na to. Disengaged and unaware of children's needs, neglectful and unresponsive. So sa mga parents natin dyan, maaaring tanungin nyo sa inyong sarili, anong klaseng parent ba ako? Meron bang dapat i-change sa aking parenting style? No, the best types of parents, they say, would be your authoritative parents. Very high yung demand, high yung expectations, pero warm din, no? Warm and responsive. And of course, there will be boundaries. Okay? Ganon din sa ating mga teachers. Tama po yan, Ma'am Joanne Garcia. Ganon din sa teachers, no? Ginagawa din ito ng mga guru natin. Okay? May mga guru ka ding uninvolved, no? Neglectful teachers. Bahala kayo sa buhay nyo. All right, we go to number 22. At what instance is the teacher a writer of the curriculum? Letter A, preparing lesson plans. Letter B, presenting class lessons. Letter C, assessing lesson outcomes. Or letter D, checking lesson exams. Mhm. What is our choice for number 22? At what instance is the teacher a writer of the curriculum? Your hint here is a term writer, writer. Lahat ng ito ginagawa natin as a teacher. Remember, as a teacher, we are superheroes, no? We are super women and supermen. Okay? Pero saan dito nagpapakita na we are the writers of the curriculum? We write the curriculum. Okay? Ang tumpak na choice, of course, would be through our lesson plan, no? Not just through presentation, not through assessment, not through checking, parehas lang po yung letter C and D mo, but through preparation of your lesson plans. You write curriculum, day-to-day curriculum, no? That's your lesson plan. All right? We go to number 23. On learning deficiencies, what is known as a learning disability in reading? Okay, maghanap tayo ng hint. Ano yung hint nyo? Pinaka-importanting word sa ating question that would guide you to pick the correct choice. Okay, ano yung pinaka-hint nyo sa question number 23? Mhm. Number 23, I see a lot of letter A's. Pero ano yung outstanding words natin dyan? Ma'am Jean Nalunat? Basahin ko lamang po. Nakita ko yung kanyang comment. Sabi ni Facebook user, dito daw siya nahilo. Dahil halos magkakaparehas. Hindi ko na nakita yung comment ni ma'am. Ayan, okay, reading. Yung inyong hint would be reading, disability in reading, reading disability. Okay, so yan yung hint ninyo. And of course, the correct choice here would be letter A, dyslexia, no? Na hindi po dyscalculia, dysgraphia, etc. Now, remember when you say learning deficiencies, this is an umbrella term, which means kung sinabi mong umbrella term, maraming iba-ibang klase. No? So, dyslexia is a language and reading disability. Dyscalculia mo, choice B, this is for arithmetic and math concepts. Okay, so meron kang dyscalculia. Maaari yung iba sa inyo may dyscalculia, no? May problema sa math concepts. Dysgraphia, choice C, this is a writing disorder. Dysgraphia from the term graph, no? Writing disorder. Dyspraxia naman is a problem in motor coordination. So, motor coordination ng inyong dyspraxia. Dyspepsia, ito naman ay pananakit ng tiyan, no? May kabag ka, may hangin ang tiyan. That's dyspepsia. Hindi ka makadighay. Okay? So, dyspepsia po yan. Okay? So, letter A, dyslexia, yung ating hinahanap. Okay? We go to number 24. Which teacher's personal trait is demonstrated by being gender sensitive and inclusive towards learners? Letter A, motivation. Letter B, fairness. Letter C, efficiency. Or letter D, passion. Okay, what's your choice? Parang naulit na, no, yung question na ito. Ano po yung ating choice for number 24? What's your hint? In number 24, again, sa Prof. Ed, maghanap po kayo lagi ng hint. Ano po yung ating hint sa number 24? Okay, I see a lot of letter B's sa ating question number 24. Okay, you are gender sensitive and you are inclusive. You include everyone. Okay, you include everyone. You don't choose whether some of your students are rich, some are poor, some are Catholics or Christians, others are Muslims, some are Filipinos, others are of other races, for example. Now you are fair to everyone, and so this is fairness. Okay, so fairness, letter B, ang tumpak na choice. We go to number 25. If a test item has a discrimination index of negative 0.30, what should you do? Letter A, reuse it. Letter B, discard it. Letter C, improve on it. Or letter D, return it to the data bank of test items. Okay, what's your choice? Number 25. Number 25, what is our choice? Okay, parang naulit na yung question. Very familiar na yung question. No? Parang nakita natin last week. Okay, if a test item has a discrimination index of negative 0.13, negative po, what should you do? Okay, the correct choice here would be to discard it, throw it. Okay, discard the question. Okay, so remember, you have the different ranges here of your discrimination index. When you say discrimination index, paano nakaka-discriminate yung inyong item? Paano niya na ipapakita yung different groups mo, yung mga matatalino at yung mga medyo bobits mong group, no? So negative po siya. Merong hindi nakakita na negative. Negative 0.30. If it is 0.39 or above, that's excellent. You have to preserve that item. 0.30 to 0.39, that's a good item. You may revise it. No? You may enhance it. 0.20 to 0.29, that's an average item. Po pwede mong i-verify or you may review it. Po pwede ding i-revise. 0 to 0.20, that's a poor item, reject or review in depth. And negative 0.01 or less than that, such as our item here, na negative 0.30, it's the worst type of item, and so you should remove it or you should discard it. Okay? So discard. Basta negative, discard. Tama yung sabi ni Sir Lindo. Okay? Basta negative po siya, discard ka agad. All right, we go to number 26. The concept of kindergarten school is drawn from a root word which means children's garden, from a blank type of word which means children's garden. Letter A, Italian. Letter B, German. Letter C, French. Or letter D, English. What is our choice for 26? Number 26, what's your choice? Okay, number 26, ano po ang ating tumpak na choice for 26? Okay, I see a lot of letter B's. We will find out if letter B is tumpak. Okay, the concept of kindergarten, of course, this would be letter B. It is a German word which means children's garden. Remember, this was by, tama po yan, Friedrich Wilhelm Freubel was a German educationist in 1837. He established a school named kindergarten or children's garden. So he developed the basic idea about children's education, and he stressed that each child had the ability to learn. We should provide him freedom so that he might be motivated internally to learn. The school atmosphere must be free from fear and restriction. So sabi ni Freibel, dapat libre, no? Free sila, walang rules. Dapat they should have the freedom to just explore so that they'll be motivated to learn internally. Magkaroon sila ng internal motivation. Okay, that's a German term. Parehas din siya ng Gestalt. Diba yung Gestalt, Gestaltist mo, this is also a German term. German term naman yung Gestalt, which means form or shape. Okay, but here, kindergarten means children's garden, and it is a German term. We go to number 27. Which of the following best develops fine motor skills of preschool learners? What is your hint muna? Ano yung hint natin sa question number 27? Number 27, ano muna yung hint natin sa 27? Ano yung nakikita niyong hint sa question 27? Mm-hmm. 27, what's your hint? Preschool. Fine motor skills, that's correct. Now, yung pinaka-hint mo dito would be the terms fine motor skills. This is as opposed to your gross motor skills. Yung gross motor skills mo naman, when you say gross, these are bigger muscles, no? Development of your bigger muscles. So yung gross motor skills, this would have some examples like running, jumping, hopping, skipping, walking. These are gross motor skills. Fine motor skills mo naman, this pertains to the hand, no? So movement or use of the hand. And so, ang correct choice natin dito would be involving hand muscles. Okay, so hand muscles. That would be letter A for number 27. Hand muscles po. Okay, fine motor skills. Not these different types of activities. We go to number 28. Which activity is most appropriate if I want my students to get a graphic overview of the whole lesson on figures of speech before I discuss them one by one? What is your hint? Hint muna tayo sa question number 28. Bago tayo pumunta sa sagot, ano muna yung hint ninyo sa question 28? What's your hint first? What is our hint for number 28? Overview, tama, no? Isang hint mo nyo, isang hint po ninyo ay graphic overview. Ano pa? Ano pa? Maliban sa graphic overview, what else? Graphic overview, what other hints can you see sa ating question? Aside from the terms graphic overview, meron pa tayong nakikita sa question natin na hint. One by one? Before, tama yan, Ma'am Janina, no? Before I discuss them. Which means, ginagawa natin ito prior to the lesson, no? Prior to giving the lesson, you have a graphic overview which is done prior to giving the lesson. And so this is advanced organizer. Remember, advanced organizer, this is done to see the prior knowledge of your students. Okay, so prior organizer ito, advanced organizer, a graphic overview prior to the discussion. Okay, so prior to your discussion. Not your outline, Venn diagram, or sentence outline. We have the hints graphic overview before you discuss it. And so this would be your advanced organizer. Okay. Number 29, the following are examples of nonverbal behavior by teachers. Which one is a restricting or non-helpful nonverbal mannerisms? What's your hint? Ano muna yung hint natin sa number 29? Number 29, ano po yung ating hint? Number 29, ano muna yung pinaka-hint mo? Okay, non-helpful, restricting, tama po yan. No? So, restricting, non-helpful, hindi po non-verbal kasi lahat naman ito non-verbal, no? Pero yung nahanap natin will be restricting and non-helpful, hindi siya nakakatulong. Teacher pats, good student on the back, good job, okay? Letter B, facial expression connoting approval, no? So, nakangiti yung teacher, for example, nagnanad ng head niya. Letter C, teacher avoids eye contact. Hindi ka tinitingnan ng teacher mo. Or letter D, teacher displays supportiveness by laughing. Okay? Tumatawa yung guro sa pagpapakita niya ng suporta sa kanyang estudyante. Okay, the correct choice, of course, here would be letter C, no? It avoids or the teacher avoids eye contact. It is a restricting and a non-helpful mannerism. Lahat naman kasi sila non-verbal, okay? Pero this one is patting the student on the back, facial expression connoting approval, and support for letter D. And so letter C ang ating hinahanap, okay? We go to number 30. When the daughter is competing with the mother for the father's attention, the daughter is said to be experiencing, letter A, sexual deviation, letter B, Electra complex, letter C, identity crisis, or letter D, Oedipus complex. What is our choice for question 30? Number 30 po, ano yung ating choice? Okay, number 30, I see a lot of letter B's. May ilang A and D. Ano po ang inyong choice for question 30? Okay, I see a lot of letter B's. Again, sabi dito, the daughter is competing with the mother for the father's attention. And so the daughter here is experiencing Electra complex. Okay, so Electra complex po ang ating hinahanap. Yung Oedipus complex mo po, ito ay kabaliktaran ng inyong Electra. No? So kung sa Electra mo, yung daughter would compete for the father's attention. Sa Oedipus complex naman, the son would compete for the mother's attention. Okay? Sexual deviation, these are just deviates, no? So that means hindi akma sa inyong sexuality yung nangyayari, no? Maaring ikaw ay member ng inyong LGBTQIA+, no? It's a sexual deviation. Hindi natin sinasabi na masama, sinasabi lang natin na hindi ka naaayon sa inyong sexuality, naaayon sa inyong gender. Identity crisis, hindi mo din alam kung ano ka, no? Babae ba ako, lalaki ako, what role should I play in the society? So sexual deviation and letter C, magkaparehas lang po yan. So letter B ang ating hinahanap. Now remember, these are all based on Freud's psychosexual stages of development. No? You have your oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital. OA, phalagi. Okay, yan po yung ating mnemonic. OA, phalagi. Okay, oral, anal, phallic, latency, genital. Another mnemonic that you can use is owls always play late games. Okay? Pwede nyo din gamitin. Sabi dito, sabi ni Lolo Freud kasi, sa kada stage ng bata, meron siyang zone or erogenous zone na tinatawag. Erogenous zone, no? So, dyan niya nakukuha yung satisfaction. Dyan, in that part of the body siya, nagiging happy, no? So, sa kada stages na to, sa kada stage ng bata, merong parte ng katawan na nakakapagpaligaya sa kanya. Yan yung parte na tinatawag ni Freud, ni Lolo Freud na erogenous zone. So, from 0 to 2 years old, that will be oral. No? So, oral po. Palagi yung satisfaction ng bata would be through the mouth. So, kung inyo nakikita, lahat ng nadadampot ng baby nyo, nilalagay niya sa mouth. And so, napakadelikado kapag meron kayong maliliit na objects kasi baka ma-choke yung bata, no? Hindi magka-aksidente pa yung bata. So, dapat wala kang choking hazards around the child during that time. Sa anal stage naman, 2 to 3 years old, nakakapag-satisfy sa bata yung bowel and bladder control. No, bowel movement, bladder control. Okay, so the child here would already start with the toilet training. Pwede mo na siyang i-toilet train. Phallic means phallus, which in Filipino means are. No, yung inyong are, yung inyong hinaharap. Okay, yung inyong hinaharap or yung inyong are, that's phallus or the phallic stage. Dito, the child would learn about his body parts by exploring, no? So, ginagawa ng bata dito, nagma-masturbate yung bata, nag-explore yung bata, tinitingnan niya yung different parts of his body or her body. Latency naman, when you say latent, inactive, no? So, when you say latency, inactive yung sexuality ng bata. And so, tinuturing ito ni Lolo Freud na pinaka-boring na part ng stages ng psychosexual development ng bata. Bakit latent or bakit inactive yung sexuality ng bata during the latency stage? Ang reason dito is the child is very busy with schoolwork. Okay, so nasa klase na siya, very busy siya. And genital naman, this is also called sexual reawakening, no? Ito na yung last stage ni Lolo Freud's psychosexual stages. Parehas siya ng phallic, no? Nag-explore din yung bata ng kanyang sexuality. But sa phallic stage, the child has no partner. No? He's just using himself, the different parts of his body. Sa genital naman, meron na siyang sexual partner. It can be someone of the opposite sex or it can be someone of the same sex kapag LGBTQIA plus yung bata. Okay? So that's genital. Alright? Pero yung ating hinahanap would be um, letter B, electra complex. So electra complex is actually part of your phallic stage. Electra and your Oedipus complex are part of your phallic stage. Okay, we go to number 31. It is a process by which an organism inherits the characteristics or traits of the parents. Letter A, fertilization. Letter B, heredity. Letter C, maturation. Or letter D, development. Okay, what's your choice? Ano yung mga okay. Meron mga nagtatanong paano po yung nagsasak, no? So sabi nga ni Lolo Freud, tama po 'yan. Um meron ka 'pag hindi ka na satisfy ay meron kang magiging abnormality, no? When you grow up and when you develop, meron kang kumbaga ay hindi na satisfy yung stage na 'yan, babalikan mo siya. So yung tanong kanina nakita ko yata malaki na yung bata nagta-thumbs up pa, that means hindi na satisfy yung bata during the oral stage. Baka hindi siya pinapakain, kapag kagutom na siya, kapag ka umiiyak siya, hindi pa siya pinapadede. And so ngayon ay ano siya, meron siyang fixation, tama po yan, no? Meron siyang fixation, gusto niya merong nakasubo lagi sa kanyang mouth, no? So nagsasamsak siya. Ganon din kapag ka, yung bata, konting kembot pa lang, konting iyak pa lang na bata, nilalagyan mo na kaagad ng dede, nasasanay din ng bata na meron palaging nakalagay sa kanyang bunganga, no? So, maaaring magka-fixation din siya. Gusto niya meron palaging sinasak. Okay, so palagi naka-lollipops or palagi naka-candy, even chain smoking, no? This is part of your fixation. Okay, what's your choice for number 31? Inherits the characteristics or traits of the parents. Okay, the correct choice here would be letter B, heredity, no? Sa heredity po ang ating tumpak na choice. Fertilization, maturation, development, hindi po sila yung ating choices. Remember, yung fertilization mo, this is the union of the sex cells, union of the sperm cell and the egg cell. Maturation and development naman, let's take a look at your definitions. When you say growth, this is a development of a person in weight, age, and size. So usually when we say growth, increase in size siya. When you say development, this is a growth in function and capability, hindi lamang sa size, pero also in terms of function and capability, there is growth, no? So total growth nga yung tinatawag nating development. And yung maturation mo naman, para na siyang combination ng growth and development, no? Overall, growth and development from infancy to adulthood. And each child has an inborn timetable or blueprint, no? So hindi pare-parehas yung ating maturation. May blueprint ka, pero may timetable tayo, no? Kung kailan ka nagmamature, kumbaga ay meron tayong kanya-kanyang oras. Maaring yung iba sa atin ay nagkaregla when we were 9 years old, we were 10 years old, yung iba naman 13, 14, 15, may mga late bloomers, may mga early bloomers, no? So that's maturation, overall process of growth and development. But we were looking for heredity for question number 31. Ayan, saking pa rin kayo. Okay, we go to number 32. Teacher Anna has been lecturing for more than an hour, and she noticed that students are not anymore able to absorb additional information. This phenomenon is known as letter A, stagnation, letter B, procrastination, letter C, boredom, or letter D, plateau of learning. So ito yung nangyayari sa atin, no? More than an hour na tayong nagli-lecture. Kaya ano kaya yung ating hinahanap? Kapag ka yung inyong estudyante ay hindi na nakakapag-absorb ng additional information, what's the term that we use? Okay, what is the term that we use for such situations? Okay, what's your choice? I see letter D's. Okay. Boredom. So, bored lang sila. Ang hinahanap po natin choice dito would be letter D, plateau of learning. No? That's what you call plateau of learning. Plateau po meaning flat na siya, no? Wala nang progression. You call that plateau of learning. Now, remember, I've been talking to you about the common questions with regard to plateau of learning. yung sabi mong, yung one common question is if you see your students not being able to absorb, ito nga, no, plateau of learning yung tawag, what should you do as a teacher? So what you do as a teacher is to vary your activity. So po pwede mong palitan yung activity mo, ibang activity naman yung kanilang gagawin kasi nga plateau na sila, no, plateau of learning, hindi na nag-a-absorb. Kapag ikaw naman ay may plateau of learning, for example, nag-movie marathon ka, tapos hindi na pumapasok, inaantok ka na, yung correct choice there, if that happens to you sa sarili mo mismo, what you would do is you take some rest. Okay? Magpahinga muna for a few minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour bago bumalik ulit sa kung anong ginagawa mo para maalis na yung plateau of learning mo. Okay? But here, letter D, ang tumpak na choice. We go to number 33. Teacher Zanny is an inspiration to almost all of the students. Her efficiency and effectiveness in the profession is truly outstanding. Which of the following describes this attitude toward her? Letter A, naturalism, letter B, progressivism, letter C, idealism, or letter D, perennialism? Ano yung hint ninyo sa number 33? Hmm? If you are going to find a hint or hints, so number 33, what would be your hint? I see a lot of letter C's. Outstanding. Tama, no? So, outstanding siya. Truly outstanding. Inspiration. Okay? So, that means nearly perfect si Teacher Zanny. And so, we call this ideal, no? Ideal siya. Idealism, ang ating tumpak na choice. Ideal, remember, means perfection. That's why we have the terms ideal girl, ideal boy. Ano yung ideal boyfriend mo, ideal wife mo, no? So, ideal, perfect. Okay, naturalism, of course, this means you have to teach the students according to their natural tendencies. So, susundin mo kung ano yung natural development ng bata. Huwag mo siyang turuan ng something na hindi pa niya kaya. Progressivism, of course, modern day method of teaching. Learning is life and not just preparation for life. Multiple intelligences theory, individual differences, all parts of progressivism. Perennialism naman, perennial means forever, no? So sabi naman ng perennialism mo, knowledge is unchanging. Whatever knowledge was existing a long time ago, it is still true up to now, no? So unchanging, forever, that's perennial, perennialism. So pag sinabi mong may forever, pwede mong sabihin may perennial. Okay, so forever yung perennial. All right, so letter C for number 33. We go to number 34. To determine her students' level of moral development, Teacher E presents to her class a morally ambiguous situation and asks them what they would do in such a situation. On whose theory is Teacher is technique-based? Letter A, Brunner. Letter B, Piaget. Letter C, Freud. Or letter D, Kohlberg. What's your choice for 34? Ano yung ating hint sa question 34? Number 34, ano po yung ating hint? Moral development, tama, no? So moral. This is moral development. So sino ba yung proponent ng ating moral development? Okay? Ang tumpak na choice, of course, would be Kohlberg, no? So Lawrence Kohlberg, yung ating proponent ng moral development theory, hindi si Brunner, Piaget, or Freud. Let's take a look at your slide. Okay, so these are the different levels and stages of moral development according to Lawrence Kohlberg. Okay, so meron kang pre-conventional, conventional, post-conventional. Ang ibig sabihin po ng conventional, naaayon sa society, no? Convention by convention, naaayon sa inyong society. Ang pre-conventional mo, this happens during preschool until elementary. Yung bata dito hindi pa nakakaintindi ng laws, hindi pa nakakaintindi ng rules. No? So yung stage 1 niya, ginagawa niya yung bagay dahil ayaw lang niyang mapagalitan. Ayaw niyang mapunish. No? So sabi dito, I would cheat if I knew I wouldn't get caught. Okay? So kung hindi naman ako mapapagalitan, pwede ako mag-cheat. Pero dahil nga bawal mag-cheat, hindi ako mag-cheat, no? Although the child still does not understand the rules, the child would do something just to avoid being punished. Stage 2 ng inyong pre-conventional na level is exchange of favors. You scratch my back and I'm going to scratch yours. Now, give and take. Yan yung sabi ng inyong stage 2. I'll let you copy mine if you do my homework. Conventional naman, the first stage here, stage 3, is good child. And stage 4 is law and order. Dito nangyayari yung mga teacher's pet. Good boy, good girl image. No, I'm not going to tell because I want her to like me. Good boy, good girl image, yung ideal images ng mga estudyante, teacher's pet, dyan po sa ating good child na conventional level. And then you have stage 4. You can't do that because the teacher said no. Said no, no, that's the law and order. The child would do something because the child would want to follow the rules, would follow the child would want to maintain the law and order inside the classroom. Ang post-conventional naman, the child already has his or her own beliefs. Meron ka ng own beliefs mo. Okay, so before college, no, rarely seen before college. Stage 3, stage 6, I mean, is extremely rare. Na sabi ni Colbert, hindi lahat ng tao ay nagre-reach sa post-conventional. Ibang tao namamatay, ay walang sariling desisyon. Okay? Sana wag kayong ganyan, no? Yung ibang tao namamatay lamang, pero until conventional lamang sila hanggang sa sila ay mamatay. Wala silang sarili nilang desisyon. Stage 5 here, sabi niya, in this case, the rule may be wrong. Kahit na rule siya, kapag ka nakikita mong mali, pwede kang umaklas. No? Ito yung mga nagwiwelgang tao. That's yung sa stage 5 natin, social contract. Stage 6 naman, you should not lie because it violates the golden rule. Medyo mas mataas na, no? Universal values na yung fina-follow ng ating stage 6. Okay? But here, we were looking for letter D, Colbert. Now, what about the rest of your choices? Of course, si Brunner, he gave us the inactive, iconic, and symbolic learning modes. Unang-una, inactive learning is done through movement or action. Dapat concrete objects muna yung pinapahawak mo sa bata. No, that's inactive. Iconic, this is through images. So, images are icons by looking at pictures. And symbolic, this is already abstract. Okay, so abstract na siya to read for research. Lumabas ito sa aming LET dati, no? Ang pagkakasunod-sunod. So, dapat alam nyo, Jerome Bruner's learning modes, una po inactive, then iconic, then symbolic. So, EIS. Inactive by using concrete objects, iconic by using images, symbols, pictures, and symbolic naman, abstract symbols na yung ginagamit. Okay? So, that's Jerome Bruner. Binigyan din tayo ni Jerome Bruner, of course, ng spiral curriculum. Ito yung ginagamit ngayon sa K-12, the deepening of knowledge. That's also spiral curriculum by Jerome Bruner. Now, si Piaget, si Jean Piaget, of course, he gave us a cognitive development theory. Team Piaget kayo, na member kayo ng Team Piaget, so dapat alam niyo to. Ang atin namang mnemonic dito ay smart people cook fish. Smart people cook fish. So you have your sensory motor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete operational stage, and formal operational stage. Now, sensory motor mo, ay isa-isahin ko to later, no? So, hindi ko muna iisa-isahin right now. But according to their cognitive process ng kanilang mind, during the sensory motor stage, the child develops the schema. Pag sinabi mong schema, ito yung filing cabinet mo, no? So, cabinet file siya sa inyong brain. Ito yung paano ka nagfo-form ng ideas, ng concept sa inyong brain. That's the schema. Now, assimilation during the pre-operational stage, you see the two S's here. This means the same schema. The child has still the same schema. Kahit na ang nakikita niya ay pusa, akala niya ay aso pa rin, no? Sa kanyang schema, sa kanyang thinking, aso pa rin yan. Dahil parehas silang may tail, parehas silang may four legs, and the child would still call the dog a cat. That would still be assimilation. Now, once the child has changed his or her schema, that would already be called accommodation. Okay? And of course, equilibration naman dito, this is a balance. So, balance na siya between assimilation and accommodation. Okay? So, nagdadagdag ka na ng inyong yung ibang ideas through the processes of assimilation and accommodations that would be equilibration. Okay, so that's according to Piaget's cognitive development theory. And of course, we've talked about Freud's psychosexual stages: OA, phalage, oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital stage. We move on with the next question. Okay, but bago yan, no, idagdag ko lamang ito. Ito ay galing din kay Freud. According to him, we have three parts. There are three influences to our personality: the id, the ego, and the superego. Remember yung inyong id. This is the animalistic side, your sexual urges, libido, hunger mo, your thirst mo. This would all be part of id. Superego naman, this is the moralistic side. And of course, ego is the balance between the two, okay? Now, number 35, teacher A finds teaching in a multicultural classes very challenging. Which among the following choices will alleviate the difficulty of addressing these challenges? What's your choice for 35? Number 35 po, ano yung ating choice? Okay, number 35, what is our choice? Okay, so sabi no number 35 mo, si teacher ay nagti-teach siya multicultural class, no? So, iba-iba. Iba-iba po yung race, ang races ng kanyang klase. And he finds it very challenging. So, paano niya ma-alleviate, no? When you say alleviate here, this means mapapagaan yung kanyang problema. Okay? Not hindi mo siya totally ma-eradicate, but you can alleviate it. So what are you going to do? Your hint here, of course, would be the term multicultural. And so the correct choice here is diversity. No? So tama po yan. Your hint is multicultural. You have to nurture diversity rather than practicing domination and oppression. Dapat walang stereotyping. Dapat hindi ka one-sided. And hindi ka lamang nakafocus sa inyong curriculum. No? So, diversity is our correct choice, letter B. Okay, so dapat yan, no? Tama yung ginagawa nyo. Maghanap kayo ng hint para makatulong na ma-choose nyo yung correct natin choice. Number 36, a foreigner who is studying here in the Philippines was turned off by the Filipinos' way of eating balot and frog since he did not experience it before. This is letter A, xenocentrism, letter B, ethnocentrism, letter C, colonial mentality, or letter D, culture shock. Okay, what's your choice for number 36? What's your choice? Okay, I see a lot of letter D's and of course, letter D ang ating tumpak na choice na turned off. Okay, that's culture shock. Now, remember centrism. When you say centrism, you favor a certain culture, no? So, yung colonial mentality mo dito at xenocentrism, parehas ang po yan. Yung A and C are the same, no? Xenocentrism, xeno means foreign. Okay, so when you say xenophobia, it is the fear of foreign people. No? So xenocentrism, you think that foreign people's culture is better than our own culture. No? So parehas ang po sila ng colonial mentality. Ethnocentrism naman, you think that your own culture is better than other people's culture. But here we are looking for culture shock, letter D. Number 37, a child who always fights with his or her classmates, who has a very short attention span, and who has frequent tantrums, is believed to be suffering from letter A, mental retardation, letter B, Down syndrome, letter C, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or letter D, learning disability. What's your choice for 37? Number 37, what's your choice? Okay, letter C for number 37. All right, of course, yung hint nyo dito would be short attention span, no? Short attention span, tantrums, and so the correct choice here would be attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, no? ADHD. Okay, so ADHD. Mental, some of those people who have learning disability, maaring hindi siya mentally retarded, maaring meron lamang siyang dyslexia, meron lamang siyang skill na hindi niya kaya, no? Ang Down syndrome mo, letter B, ito po yung mga mongoloid, no? So ito yung mga may trisomy 21 imbes na dalawang kopya lang nilang kopya. Ay, meron ako nakita, sabi ng isang kaguro natin, hindi ko na makita yung name. Mamek, nakalimutan niyo po mag-break. Tama, no? Sabi natin mag-break tayo, nakalimutan natin mag-break. Okay, so sana sa Monday magawa na natin. No? Minsan kasi engage tayo into discussion, nakakalimutan break. All right, but letter C for number 37. Number 38, a support instructional material has meaningfulness if it is characterized as blank. Letter A, flexible in purpose. Letter B, age appropriate. Letter C, sensitive to cultural issues. Or letter D, available at the time of use. Okay, what's your choice? Number 38. Okay, what's your hint for number 38? Anong hint natin? For number 38, alanganin sa number 38. Hindi sure sa number 38. Ano yung hint mo sa number 38? Meaningfulness. Tama, no? So, meaningfulness. So, alin kaya ang ating tumpak na choice? Nagiging meaningful yung ating instructional material, yung inyong IM, kapag ka, okay, meaningfulness, this is purpose, okay? Useful, meron siyang halaga, no? Meron siyang purpose. That would be your correct choice. Age appropriate, sensitive to cultural issues, available at the time of use. Ito po ay bahagi na lahat ng letter A mo, no? Pag flexible siya in its purpose, dapat siya ay age appropriate. Po pwede mo siyang i-tweak, po pwede mo siyang i-adjust according to the age of your students. If ang student mo ay galing sa ibang bansa, no, at yung mga examples mo, for example, ay pang Pilipinas, po pwede mo siyang i-adjust, no? So, flexible siya dapat. Available at the time of use, okay? So, flexible in purpose. That's our correct choice for number 38, letter A. Number 39, you arrange the rows of blocks in such a way that a row of if you ask which row has more, grade 1 pupils will say that it is the row that makes a longer line. Based on Piaget's cognitive development theory, what problem is okay? You are given a situation. Okay, what is your choice? Naglalag ba ng slide? No, andyan na yata si Henry. Okay lang, patapos na tayo, no? Hopefully, wala nang kasunod si Henry. Okay, letter A. Alright, so sabi dito, meron kang rows of blocks. Okay, so kunwari meron kang building blocks. Tapos, yung isang group mo, yung isang row mo, meron lamang 5 blocks. Yung isang row mo naman, merong 7 blocks, pero inarrange mo sila so that yung 5 blocks mo would look longer than your 7 blocks. Now, sabi ng grade 1 pupil mo, nung tinanong mo sila, saan dito yung mas may maraming blocks. Sabi niya, the row that looks longer, no? The row that makes a longer line. And so, ano yung problema ng bata dito? Saan yung problema ng bata? Letter A, conservation. Letter B, assimilation. Letter C, accommodation. Or letter D, egocentrism. Okay, balikan natin lahat ng inyong choices. Remember, when you say conservation, alam ng bata na kahit na binalimbaliktad mo yung isang bagay, ganun pa rin yung kanyang volume, ganun pa rin yung kanyang amount, ganun pa rin yung kanyang size. Ang assimilation naman, the same schema yung bata, no? So, hindi na change yung kanyang schema, the same pa rin yung kanyang idea, yung cat ay tinatawag pa rin yung dog. Accommodation, nag-change na yung kanyang schema, no? So, ngayon, yung dog, yung cat na dati ay tinatawag niyang dog, cat na yung tawag niya ngayon. Egocentrism naman ay very selfish yung bata. Feeling niya, kung ano yung nakikita niya, ganun din yung nakikita ng ibang tao. Kung ano yung nararamdaman niya, nararamdaman din ng ibang tao. Ang tumpak na choice natin dito ay letter A, conservation problem po yan, no? Remember, 5 blocks lamang sa kabila, ito 7 blocks. Pero dahil inarrange mo yung 5 blocks na mas mahaba yung linya, hindi na nakita ng bata na mas konti yung blocks dito. Akala niya mas marami yung blocks dito dahil mas mahaba yung linya. Hindi niya na-conserve yung size ng blocks. The same po ito sa ating question na merong 100 ml of water, tapos yung isang glass ay taller and narrower, the other glass is wider and shorter. Tapos pag tinanong yung bata kung saan yung mas maraming laman, sabi ng bata sa longer glass, kahit na parehas lamang yung amount nila, that's also a problem in conservation. No? Hindi pa niya nako-conserve yung amount. That means may centration pa yung bata. No? Centered pa siya in one aspect of an object. Okay, so conservation ang ating tumpak na choice. We go to number 40, last stage tonight, or last item tonight. In Pichet's stages of cognitive development, what is a preschool age in which a child's intelligence is intuitive, able to make mental representations, and close to the use of symbols? Letter A, formal operational stage. Letter B, concrete operational stage. Letter C, sensory motor stage. Or letter D, pre-operational stage. What's your choice for number 40? Number 40, maghanap kayo ng hint nyo para siguradong tumpak ang ating choice. Okay? Ano po yung ating hint sa number 40? Anong hint nyo sa number 40? Okay, preschool. Tama yan, no? So, preschool age. Ito yung pinaka-hint nyo, no? Preschool age. The child is intuitive. The child is able to make mental representations. Ito yung sinasabi nating symbolic function. Very wild yung imagination ng bata. Close to the use of symbols. No? Baka nalito kayo dito dahil sabi close to the use of symbols. Baka isipin nyo na, maaari na siyang gumamit ng abstract reasoning. Okay? Pero ang tumpak na choice natin dito, since we have the hint preschool, pre-operational stage. Okay? So, tumpak yung pre-operational stage ninyo. Now, remember, these were still part of Piaget's cognitive development theory. Again, you started with your sensory motor stage. Kanina na-explain na natin ito. No? Sensory motor stage ka muna. The child is using his instincts, his senses. Kaya napaka-importante that you place objects around the child, no, para ma-enhance at ma-stimulate yung senses niya. Now, pre-operational stage was during the preschool stage na siya. The child is very selfish, no? May egocentrism pa yung bata. The child has centration, wala pa siyang conservation. The child's imagination is running wild. You have your symbolic function. And then once you go to your concrete operational stage, conservation, meron na yung bata dito. Hindi na siya centered, no? So decentration na yung tinatawag natin. Meron na siyang seriation sa concrete operational. The child can already form the different series, can already arrange the objects from smallest to largest and vice versa. And formal operational stage mo naman, the child can already understand abstracts. Okay, so logical reasoning, the child is already capable of those or of that during the formal operational stage. All right. And that ends tonight's discussion. And of course, tonight is a Friday night. We will be back on Monday, no? So balikan po lahat ng ating mga video sa ating YouTube channel while waiting for our next discussion. Of course, meron tayong Relive tomorrow. Kung kayo ay naka-enroll sa major, meron kayong majorship tomorrow and on Sunday. Depende po sa inyong schedule. But we will be back on Monday with Final Coaching Day 3. Of course, balikan lahat ng ating mga videos. Don't stop learning. And please do keep safe. Huwag pong magpatalo kay Henry. No? So keep safe. Keep dry. We will see you on Monday. This has been Coach Mac of Gurong Pinoy. And of course, I leave you the saying, malit man na butil ng mga kaalaman, ang dulo nito ay malaking kaginawaan. Maraming salamat. Good night and happy